If you want to buy a 4K resolution monitor, or you already have one and you need a gaming PC build that's capable of running games at 4K with no issues, this video is going to be for you. I will show you 3 different gaming PC builds for 3 different budgets that are going to be amazing for 4K, and I will also explain to you as simply as possible how these PCs are going to perform at this resolution. That way you know what you can expect out of these systems. All the links to these PCs and also bonus ones will be in the video description. That being said, let's start. With the first one, we have the cheapest one on this video for $1,440. This $1,400 PC is going to be amazing for 4K since you get the RX 7900 XT for the GPU and the Ryzen 5 7600 for the CPU. Then you get 32 gigs of DDR5 memory, which is going to be plenty of memory, not only for gaming but also for multitasking, streaming and productivity tasks. Then you get a 1TB Gen 3 SSD, which you can upgrade down the line if you ever need more. Then you get the Deepcool HG400 for the CPU cooler, which is going to be plenty of cooling for our Ryzen 5. A B650 motherboard from the AM5 platform, which is going to give you enough features for gaming. And then for the case, we have the Bitfinex Nova Micro ATX Mini Tower case. I love this one. It has really good airflow, 3 pre-installed fans, and the price is really good. And last but not least, we have the NZXT CA50. This is an 850 watt 80 plus gold power supply, which is going to be a total overkill for this type of build, but the price is amazing right now, so I do recommend you buying this one in case you want to upgrade to better components down the line. Now, the most important part is performance, and the RX 7900 XT on a 16 game average at 4K resolution, where high demanding games were tested, such as Cyberpunk 2077 for example. The RX 7900 XT was able to average 94 FPS, which is in the top 4 best GPUs on the market for 4K resolution. So if you want a 90 plus FPS on average experience at 4K and you do not want to spend more than $2,000, I think this one is an amazing choice, and you get top tier performance at 4K and also 1440p resolution if you have a 1440p monitor and you will upgrade to 4K down the line. On that same 16 game average at 1440p, the 7900 XT was able to average 158 FPS, so you pick your monitor resolution, this PC is going to perform amazing in both scenarios. Also, the 7900 XT has 20 gigs of VRAM, which is going to be enough for many years to come, even at 4K resolution. One upgrade that you can make to this system if you want better 4K performance and you have more money to spend is the GPU, and if you go with the RX 7900 XTX, which is slightly better than the 7900 XT, the total price will be $1,600, and the XTX version is about 18% faster than the XT. On that same 16M average at 4K, the 7900 XTX was able to average 113 FPS, so that's about a 20 FPS difference at 4K. And don't worry, there will be no bottleneck if you upgrade to the XTX version. On the same test at 1440p, the 7900 XTX was able to average 180 FPS, making the difference even bigger than the 4K test. If you have a higher budget for $2,000, you can get the RX 7900 XTX with much better components overall. For the CPU, you get the AMD Ryzen 7 7800X3D, which is arguably the fastest CPU in the market today. Then you get a 240 all-in-one liquid cooler, which is going to look amazing, and the cooling is going to be really good. You also get a better motherboard with more features, better audio quality, and overall better for the future. Then you get 2TB of Gen 4 SSD instead of 1TB of Gen 3, which is going to be helpful if you are thinking of downloading a bunch of games or maybe doing content creation. Then for the case, we have the Montech Sky 2 with plenty of fans, really good airflow, and the price is only $89. And last but not least, we have a 1050 watt 80 plus gold power supply from Enermax. This one is A tier rated, so really good quality, especially for a high-end PC like this. The total price for this one is $2,000, and in terms of gaming performance, it's going to perform very similar to the $1,600 system I've mentioned because you get the same GPU, but if you play CPU demanding titles, for example Flight Simulator or Cities Skylines, or maybe you play esports titles at lower resolutions or lower graphic settings, then the CPU is going to make a difference and you will be achieving much higher FPS in those type of games. But if you mostly play GPU demanding games, the performance difference is not going to be crazy, but you will be getting a better system overall regardless. At this price point, you can also consider the RTX 4080, which is going to give you about the same rasterized performance as the RX 7900 XTX. It has less VRAM, but it has a better level level of ray tracing. It also comes with DLSS 3 and Nvidia technologies that might be interesting for you. If you really want to buy from Nvidia, then the total price for the same system with the 4080 is going to be $2,170, so a bit more expensive, but it is a nice upgrade if you really care about those Nvidia features, especially if you're a creator, since usually Nvidia works better with productivity apps. And then if you want the best of the best, for $3,130, really expensive, you get the Ryzen 7 7800X3D once again, but this time you get it with the RTX 4090. The RTX 4090 is about 30% faster than the RX 7900 XTX and is the best GPU in the current market in terms of performance. Not in terms of price to performance, but regardless, if you want the best of the best, you will be spending this amount by the time that I'm recording this video. On that same 16-game average at 4K resolution, the RTX 4090 was able to average 142 FPS compared to the 113 FPS from the 7900 XTX, so you are going to get top tier performance for 4K resolution. And there's no game that you can't run on high to ultra settings. As I said before, this is the limit for gaming right now, so if the game does not run well with the RTX 4090, it's most likely that the game is not well optimized. Anyway, for the rest of the components, we have a 360mm all-in-one liquid cooler, which is not really necessary for the Ryzen 7 7800 X3D, but it is going to be nice if you decide to upgrade the CPU down the line to a CPU that's more power hungry. Then we have the Gigabyte X670 Aorus Elite AM5 motherboard, amazing motherboard with plenty of features and really good for future upgrades. Then we get 32 gigs of RAM again. If you need more than 32 gigs, let me know in the comment section. I will give you a 64 gigs of RAM kit if you need it, but for gamers, this will not be necessary. Then you get 2TB of Gen 4 SSD, same thing, if you need more storage, you can always upgrade down the line. And then we have the NZXT H6 Flow for the case. I absolutely love the design of this one and the airflow that it provides, especially considering that we are talking about a really high demanding system and we need top tier airflow. And then last but not least, we have the NZXT C1200. This is a 1200 watt 80 plus volt power supply, 8-tier rated unit, and plenty of wattage even for future upgrades. Once again, the total price, it's $3,121, and since the RTX 4090 has been having issues with the stock, usually it's more expensive than this. Right now is $1,890, but there's a small chance that when you're watching this video is over $2,000 again. And in that case, if you want to keep the price down because you do not want to spend the extra, there are pre-built PCs out there that are actually cheaper than this, and they are going to have the RTX 4090 top tier performance as well. So in the description, I will also leave a couple of pre-built PC options with the RTX 4090 in case the price of the 4090 went up by a lot again. And if you have a different budget, maybe let's say you have $1,000 or $800 and you want to play at 1440p resolution or 1080p, I do recommend you watching my video on the best PC builds of the month. You will have that one in the top right of the screen. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.